Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And let's first talk about the 4-hour chart. So I already shared this with the members, but by the looks of it, we are about to get another high because the structure does not look complete, and let me talk about that. So right now we are in the pink wave, the pink fifth wave, and by the looks of it, this only has 4 waves up so far. If you look at where the price reacted over here in the fourth wave move down, it reacted exactly to the 0.382 support level. So I think as long as we stay above the 50% support level, which is currently at 78.4 cents, we could go higher and we could get another high, and maybe we actually finish the third wave this time. And honestly, I mean, the structure will be complete after that. We will not really need anything else. Like I said here, we have a 1-2 setup, then we have an A-B structure, and right now we are still in the C wave, and this is the C wave of the third wave. And in this C wave, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, and we are about to finish the last fifth wave. So after this, you can expect a fourth wave move down. Of course, if we go higher right now, which is probable, then we are probably going to have to readjust the support level, which is the bigger one. So for now, I would say to just ignore the support level because it's not relevant as long as we stay above 78.4 cents. And even if we get to below that, the last support level would be at 76.6 cents, and dropping below that would suggest that we are already in a much bigger fourth wave move down, which would not really be bearish. I mean, we still need a fourth wave move down, and you could, still count this move as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup maybe. So it's enough. And yeah, if we go lower or if we go higher, it's not really gonna be that important. However, we should, in my opinion, stay above the 200-day moving average, which is the blue line on the chart, because here, when we finally stayed above it, we used it as support. So hopefully, if we drop lower right now, we actually stay above it, and that should give us another move to the upside. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this fifth wave move up should put us at least at about 93.8 cents and even to like $1.04, but probably not more than that. So I will make sure to adjust the fourth wave support level if that happens, just to give you an idea of where support will be. Let's say it gets to about 94 cents or so, and then we top in the third wave right there. The fourth wave move down should get to the 0.382 support level, which is at 75.9 cents. Also, this is gonna be a fourth wave move. As you know, the fourth wave move to the downside is usually kind of boring, and I think if you look at this over here, this was actually pretty boring. It only lasted like a day or so, but people were already starting to complain that it's not really doing anything. So once we get the fourth wave right here, it's gonna be even worse than that, so be prepared for that. And it could be some kind of, diagonal maybe, and that could take some time. But after that, I will expect another high in the fifth wave of a much bigger first wave move. And I will give you a target for this. Right now, we don't have the third wave high, but I could give you an idea of where that high could go. I already talked about this yesterday, but I just want to share this with you again in case you did not watch the videos. Let's say the third wave right there tops at about 96 cents and we go down to about 75 cents. The target for the fifth wave up would be at around, well, actually let me put the 0618 on the chart as well. It would be at $1.12, exactly where we got rejected in the past, at the 0.618 resistance level of the previous all-time high, which is the red line on the chart. So it would make sense to complete the first wave right there. But let's not focus on that right now, because obviously if the third wave goes even higher than that, if it goes to like $1.04 and we drop to like 82 cents in the fourth wave move down, then the fifth wave target will obviously have to be a bit higher, and the minimum target would then be above the resistance level right there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Now I want to talk about the bull market support band for a second, just because I have not really mentioned it too much in the past couple of videos, but we're about to have a cross on the bull market support band on the 4-hour, and we already had a cross on the weekly. I mentioned this, I think, maybe a couple of days ago, and we even had one on the monthly. Where did the bull market support band go? I have no idea, but we also had one right here. and did it just disappear? Let's just actually see this. So I think the bull market support band just went away. So let me actually put it on the chart, and I think this is this. Yeah, this is a bit boring, I know, but you have to look at this because it's, you know, part of the process. And well, I think I actually pressed something wrong there. All right, so here we go, bull market support band. And then we put this on the chart and it's back now. And yeah, here we also had a cross and this is good. And what we are doing right now looks pretty similar to what we were doing over here as well in the last cycle before the altcoin season started. Here we had a cross on the bull market support band and the price was already above the bull market support band, and so far in this cycle this has not happened until now, so we are probably at this point of the cycle, which would make sense. And let me go in the weekly for this because it's easier to understand. So this is still a 1-2-1-2 setup, just like we had in the previous cycle. It's the exact same setup, so if we are right here it actually makes a lot of sense. So that's it about that. Now let's talk about my favorite topic, which is Bitcoin dominance, and let's go on the daily first because, well, on the daily we are extremely oversold, and I even said this yesterday, but we need to keep being oversold if we want this to continue going down. So we are still below the 200-day moving average. That's a very good sign, and we need to get to about 60.3% first and get below this level if we want to confirm that something more bullish is going on. Other than that, let me talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now, it's showing some weakness, and I actually noticed something extremely bearish right here on the weekly. As you can see, we dropped below the moving average on the RSI, which is not really a good sign. However, this does not really mean anything, because if for some reason Bitcoin just goes sideways right now, that's gonna be enough for the altcoin season to start, because Bitcoin already got above its previous all-time highs, and Bitcoin, when it gets to all-time highs, for example, like it did over here in the previous cycle, when the altcoin season starts, it only starts when Bitcoin goes sideways. And yes, it could continue while the Bitcoin chart goes a bit higher, but here in the previous altcoin season, Bitcoin, yes, it was going up. Still, it went up, like, let's say, when did the altcoin season start? Let's say it happened over here in December. Bitcoin went from $30,000 to about $60,000, so it still went up about 2x, but during this time the altcoins were going up a lot more than that. But that move for the altcoins only happened after we had this huge move on the Bitcoin chart. So when this entire move from $3,000 to about $40,000, let's say, happened, the altcoins were not really doing anything. During this move, Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance were going higher, and the altcoins were just doing this, or they were going down. And only then, after we got above the previous all-time highs of 2017, and after we stayed above the all-time highs, that's when the altcoin season really happened. And right now, we are doing the exact same thing. We got above the previous all-time highs of 2021 and the all-time highs of this year. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is dropping, and Bitcoin is not really doing anything, but the altcoins are starting to pick up momentum. And why is that? Because in order for the altcoin season to start, Bitcoin first needs to get to all-time highs, and it's doing just that right now. So yes, it could continue going higher, but if it doesn't, and if it just goes down or sideways right now, the altcoins should keep going up. And why should they keep going up? Because first of all, most of them just had a cross on the bull market support band, and second of all, Ethereum has woken up, and let's go on the 4-hour for this. Ethereum seems to be in a much bigger third wave right here, which could be the third wave of a much bigger third wave. And the target for that is $4,500. That's the minimum target, so it could overextend to the 200% extension because it is a third wave after all. And my target for Ethereum for this cycle is minimum $6,400, but it could go way higher than that. And if Ethereum gets to these levels, it will obviously start outperforming Bitcoin, because Bitcoin cannot go up like another 3x from where it's at right now. Obviously not. At most, I think it's gonna go up another 2x if everything goes right. But let's be honest, even if it doesn't happen, even if Bitcoin tops at like $130,000, $140,000, Is anyone really gonna care that, my prediction was off? I don't think so, because many of you don't even have Bitcoin in the first place. Many of you probably only have Cardano and some other altcoins. So if my Bitcoin prediction is off, it doesn't really matter because nobody even has Bitcoin right now. If you do have Bitcoin, well, I did tell you this, but I swapped my Bitcoin with the altcoins that I have right now when Bitcoin dominance got to about 60%. Because in my opinion, that's the best strategy. Obviously not financial advice, but usually when Bitcoin dominance gets to all-time highs and it gets to, let's say, the 0.618 resistance level of the previous highs, that's the perfect time to swap with altcoins. And of course, that was a mistake because here, yes, we did react to the 0.618 resistance level, but then Bitcoin dominance went higher. But I don't care because my altcoins are still doing pretty fine. So I'm still up about 2.5x on ADA. So I'm still doing pretty fine. And yeah, I'm expecting Ethereum to go higher and it should continue to outperform Bitcoin. And that's pretty much it. If that happens, ADA will go higher and it will probably finish the third wave of the third wave at some point. That's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. Again, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.